All right, all right. Hello, Mr. Fields.
A break from just about everything, disappear, come back, and shock the world. I'm talking to that athlete. I'm talking to that administrator. I'm talking to that nurse, that doctor. I'm talking to that student. I'm talking to that communicator. I'm talking to that pioneer, that inventor. I'm talking to that entrepreneur. I'm talking to that preacher. I'm talking to that person who refuses to stay where they are. I'm talking to that person that doesn't have a problem laying in obscurity, because you know that when you come out of the dark room, all eyes on you. We live in a culture of busyness, distraction, and noise. And sometimes the only way something's going to change is if we disappear. Sometimes you gotta delete the app. Sometimes you have to walk away. Sometimes you have to fall back into the dark room and focus on you. Everybody wants destiny. Everybody wants manifestation. Everybody wants fulfillment. Everybody wants the next level in the relationship and a higher quality of living. But nobody wants to eliminate distractions. Nobody wants to disappear for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and get into a place where you can focus on just you. What if you could just shut out every distraction? What if you could just shut out the world for just a season and focus on you? A man is rewarded in public for what he does in private. Can you unplug for just a moment and focus on you? Focus on what matters. Why are you here? What is your destiny? The reason why you don't see it, the reason why it has not manifested, the reason why you are so frustrated is because you have not been willing to forsake all that you've been called to forsake and to follow through behind closed doors. Sure, you can talk about it. Sure, you can plan it. Sure, you can write it down. Sure, you can go to the conference and hear about it. You can read about it. But at some juncture, you have to disappear and put the work in and come back and shock everybody that doubted you. I'm talking to that man, that woman, that boy, that girl who feels the fire in their belly. It's time for you to shock the world. You may have to sleep in your car. You may have to go without food. You may have to bounce around from couch to couch. You may have to sacrifice like nobody in your family ever has. But can you do it behind the scenes when nobody's looking, when nobody's watching, when nobody understands the measure of passion that you carry? Can you keep going? Don't stop. You're right there. Go through the process in the dark room that prepares us and equips us for the stages of destiny. It's time to get real. It's time to get raw. It's time to look ourselves in the mirror.
Being present for your clients is just as important as being present for the everyday moments you can.
And come to the resolve that this version of ourselves is not going to carry us in the stretch. That I've been this version of myself long enough that if I don't change, if I don't do something about this, then I'm going to find mental and transformational portrait.
Need y'all to hear that because that's my energy, or that's what y'all need to be on right now. So, good morning to you. Are you alive and well?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
I'm alive and well.
But hopefully you heard it. I do need to tell you that you probably aren't moving the way you should be moving. And that's all week, ain't it? I ain't said nothing else, Grace. All I said all week is move, because progress is not the same thing as movement. For those of you who are moving, how long did it take you to move? It's another question. How long has it taken you to move? And how many of you are moving and running your mouth? We got a lot to talk about, and we're going to do it as succinctly and quickly as possible. To my knowledge, only 2 people. I'm wrong. I'm automatically wrong, Garcia. Let me just say it up front, okay? That's why I said to my knowledge. To my knowledge, 2 people have gone into Mexit News to further their career. I didn't say have gone into Mexit News, read something, etc. I mean, literally sat down and said, I will not leave until I get the jewels that are being dropped right now, and I will use it to advance my career. This morning, we're talking about moving like the top 1%. Let me tell you why I started Mexit News, and then why I have it in the way I have it, okay? The featured video that was playing is there right there in the link right there. I started Mexit News because once you get so far, you need to control the media. You need to control your own news. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how big you're trying to go. In my case, I'm trying to have a city, so I gotta kind of have a news station. But even if you have 44 coaching clients, which is a really big deal, it really is. To have 44 coaching clients is a really, really big deal. So let me break that down even more now. Let me cut that in. If you have 7 coaching clients, there you go. That's reasonable. If you have 7 coaching clients, you still need to control your media. That means your newsletter needs to be extremely effective. I was thinking about it yesterday. I was admiring Sister Booker. When she was talking yesterday, Frida, I kept saying, the law of attraction is strong with her. I mean, she just keeps running across these dignified people, and she shouldn't even be meeting these people. And they sitting in keynotes they shouldn't even be sitting in and training. I said that yesterday. I said to myself, I mean, the Lord is just moving forward and saying, y'all get your butt here and come listen to my child. And she's just got, vice presidents and all sorts of people listening to provosts and presidents of colleges listening to her training and her keynotes. And while that is usual, it is unusual for it to be so consistent with her. Unusual. I mean, she's jumped into the bureau and then jump-started a bona fide speaking career full-time at this point in the second half of her life. I mean, can we just unmute our mic and clap for that? Just the more I think about it, the more it's clap worthy. Yeah. The more I think about it, yes.
Yes,
awesome, Sister
Think
Booker.
To God be the
Absolutely.
glory. Thank you.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Speaking of Antonio,
Yes.
I just wanted to, I know I don't butt in when you're talking, but on this one, the book talk has been rescheduled for tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Central, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll be putting it in Discord so we can show up and show out like we was ready to.
Yes.
Okay, then that sounds good to me. We're gonna show up and we're gonna be them loud cousins that's being inappropriate. That's my cousin. All right, now that's what we're gonna be. We're gonna do all the chat with all caps and stuff. That's what we're gonna do for sure. For sure. But the reason I brought that up, because at this point in Sister Booker's career, she needs to control her media. At this point, she's done too much not to stay in touch. That came out rhyming by accident, but you can go ahead and write that down. My little Jesse Jackson, and she's done too much not to stay in touch. And it's the truth. So you have to control it. That's why I started Mexit News. But in there, and Susan understands this because all she does is think about how the world is going to end and how to make it better. And she's just strategic, she's thinking about the possibility of aliens and the ramifications of religion. She's just always thinking, whatever it is, she's thinking. So she would understand this. But I had a choice with Mexit News. And I wasn't trying to be like everybody else. I wanted to share my light unconditionally without provocation. And at the heart of what I am is a teacher. This is what it is, right? So there are masterclass. Well, it's not just but there's a masterclass section on Mexit News that if you just go there and just, you don't have to wonder where you're going. It's in order for you, Arshia. And when you click a link, I make sure that it opens up a new tab so you can then read that tab and then take those notes. And not just that, I'm even sending you to people who are selling additional items for you to go faster and be faster at these things that have nothing to do with me, or I don't have a relationship, I'm not getting a commission or anything, because my goal is for when you get there, you don't need to go anywhere else. And by the time you're done, whether it take 5 hours, 7 hours, 2 hours, 30 hours, you're a master. That's my goal. That's my goal. And I told you before in the movie Catch Me If You Can, it's actually probably my favorite movie from Leonardo. Well, he's got a lot. He's got a lot of good movies, but now that I think about it, it's too many movies to say which one is my favorite at this point. But that's one of my favorite. It is up there in the top 2. Catch Me If You Can. And he teaches a college class that he knows no subject on. He's a student, but he read the chapter a week ahead and was able to fool the faculty and staff and even the students. So if you're a week ahead of people, they will buy from you. If you're a month ahead of people, they will give you their life savings. Do you understand what I'm saying? So my goal with those master classes is to get you months, 6 months ahead of anybody that you know. And I watched Deanna do it yesterday. Finally, Sister Booker. I mean, finally. You know, I'm very good at flow. I'm very good. You know, I don't bother people. You know, I let Reggie do what Reggie do. I don't know where Reggie at right now. I just know he in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? He in the right spot. Wherever he at, he in the right spot. He came to the office last week, jumped right in, burnt right off. That's what he do. That's what Reggie do. That he can do it, and it don't bother me one bit. I let Frida do it. Frida always thinks she in trouble. I always think she in trouble. I let her do it. She always thinks she in trouble. I let her do what she gonna do. She kind of came on real fast this morning, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I let her do what she gonna do. Doesn't bother me. I let Grace do. I let everybody do what they're gonna do because I've mastered. Well, I don't want to say I've mastered, but I'm really, really, really good at flow and the law of allowing because I just believe everything is perfect. And so I just been waiting, Susan, to see what Deanna's gonna do. Tempest went there first and was doing some cyber stuff. And Deanna finally went over there. And Deanna, how long have I been telling you to go to that book publishing thing?
Since you wrote it.
That's 2 months ago. 2 months ago. And finally she went there yesterday.
I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought, wow, that would be great for Deanna.
The same thing I said, Susie, that we have the same gift. And she finally went over there, and I'm going to let her tell you how impacted she was. And this is not a promotion for Mexit News. There's no need for that. We're talking about moving like the top 1%. So here's the punchline up front. The top 1% continuously time collapses, pun intended, feeling Susan, like spent 15 months telling y'all about this, all right? It is what it is. The master classes are incredible time collapsing articles. This is not about being the best. This life, let me back up. Living your life is not about being the best. If you're here to be the best, You don't quite understand the ways of life. And I get that that is completely paradoxical to you because you've been told, Arshia, be the best, be the best, be the best, be the best, be the best. That I can assure you that Buddha was not attempting to be the best. I'm going to assure you. I'm going to assure you that Jesus did not come here and say, you know what, Sister Booker, I need to be the best. I can assure you that was not the motive of such an ascended master. To understand the ways of life is not about being the best. It can be simplified as in wherever you are, that environment becomes extremely blessed. Doesn't matter. The
Repeat that, please.
Wherever you are, that environment becomes extremely blessed. And that can take on many different forms. Maybe Grace is taking too long at something. So when I get into that environment, I teach her how to time collapse. Now that environment is blessed. Maybe Deanna has low self-esteem. So when I get into that environment, her confidence boosts up. It is the difference between a superstar that makes everybody on the court or on the field better around them. It's the LeBron James effect. LeBron James gets role players these amazing contracts. And then when they get to these teams, they fizzle out. It's because they were good, because LeBron James is just that good. So they were getting these extra wide open shots that boosted their career averages and et cetera. And my goal with telling you all this is your job is to learn something, do something, be something, whatever that is, Renee. That's not relevant to me. It can only be relevant to you. But when your energy intersects and interacts in an environment, you need to be the source of overflow. It is the very definition, the very meaning, Arshia, of wherever your feet shall tread. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was the power of the Ark of the Covenant, wherever it was, that place, that household, that nation received instant, overnight, instantaneous overflow and power. And when you do something, write this down as I say it, Grace, because I'm trying to frame you, I think, for when Deanna talk. When you do something for you and enjoy solving that problem, you don't need anything else to be the blessing in that environment. Man should always find a problem that he loves and diligently every day work to solve that problem. And if man runs out that problem, and man needs to find another problem. Every last one of you should be finding a lovable problem to fix. Every last one of you. Every last one of you. Deanna, I want you to take us through whatever emotion you went through. Just do me a favor so I don't have to cut in too much. I want you to bring up how, because I know you're doing it for me or whatever. But at some point, and it was early, you said, "Ooh, this is for me. I can," and you went all these implications. Don't leave that out, and I shouldn't have to say too much. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to start there. when I started reading the article, my initial intention for reading the article was to only be a literary agent for Antonio. Now, that may sound selfish, and I can completely understand that. But I didn't want to add to on top of or put more on me than I can bear. But as I was reading, I'm like, wait a minute. Everything I read was everything that Antonio has been pushing all of us to do, because publishing companies are just like the music industry. They don't want you if you ain't bringing nothing to the table. If you have a few hundred followers, they're going to be like, oh, okay, that's good. If you have a few thousand followers, they're going to be like, oh, that's nice. But if you around like the hundreds of thousands, they're going to look at you like, okay, let's check this out. But what I realized was there's a specific section. It's called Showcase Your Writing. It was number 2. And I told Antonia, I was like, I realized while I was reading this that it's for me when I write my book too. Because everything he said, he has been pushing me to do since day one. And when I say day one, I mean like day one of him mentoring me. I was just hard-headed. Don't be hard-headed for 5 years. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Don't be hard-headed. Grace said 2. I said 5. I'm a little bit more stubborn than Grace, okay? I'm a little bit more stubborn. Taurus is strong in me. I don't like change. But to what I the very first one to start a blog. So Renee. Okay.
Yeah. I had ulterior motives about my platform.
Let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you send out a query letter to a publisher, if you don't have a huge following, but your writing is on other platforms, you can reference those platforms for your writing. If they research you, they can go back and find your blog. That's why you also need to guest post on other people's blogs. If you've never listened in your life to Antonio and Ibrahim, when they said, create a paper trail, an electronic paper trail, it's time for you to create an electronic paper trail if you want to be an author. Because you don't have to have the hundreds of thousands of followers. You just need a paper trail, and they are looking at your platform. You know how Antonio kept saying, conversations create clients, post so many times a day, interact with the people on your platform, build your platform. It's a reason for that, because publishing companies are just like the music industry. They want to know what you can bring to the table. Oh yeah, you have this great book, but can you bring me some money too? We need to know what you are bringing to the table, because if this book sucks, we got to recoup our money. If nobody buys this book, excuse my bluntness, but if nobody buys this book, we got to recoup this money. So before we even consider you, do you have an audience to sell your book to? Do you have somebody to go to and say, hey, I have this book, buy it? If not, we got to work some things out. And that's when the blogs come into play. That's why you have to build your platform. Another way, which I thought was absolutely awesome, is by your associations. Excuse me, can't talk this morning. Your associations can help you get a major book deal. Your speaking engagements, Miss Evelyn, can help you get a major publishing book deal. Because this is how the book publisher and, number one, the literary agent see it. Oh well, you don't have a lot of people following you. You don't have a big following. How are we gonna? Oh, wait a minute. Antonio T. Smith Jr., Phil and Susan Sorrentino, Tony Robbins, like you are associated with these people? Yes, I am associated with these people. And if I let them know that I've written a book and I have it for sale and I go to them, they will announce it on their platform and I will get sales. Oh, really? So the people you are associated with will help you sell your book. And these are like big name people. These are not people with 100 or 1,000 followers. These are people with like millions of followers. Yes. Oh, okay. Well, here, let me go. If you can go and send me a couple of sample chapters, let's see what we can do with you. They look at these things. The people you are associated with can help you land a major publishing deal. Speaking engagements. This is how they view speaking engagements. Oh, okay. Well, you don't have a large following. Oh, but you speak 100 times a year? Really? And you speak at major colleges and TED Talks, and you toured, like you shared the stage with Les Brown? You have. Oh, so these are the type of speaking events that you're doing. Well, you know what? If you can just go ahead and send me a couple of sample chapters, let me check those out and we'll get back with you on that one. Because how they view it is, oh, so if you have major speaking engagements like that, you can sell from the stage. Or after you speak, you can go back to the back and have people come up to you and purchase your book. Therefore, they're always looking on how they can have a return on their investment. While we may not like social media, because I was talking to Antonio a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me, you don't share anything, like you don't do anything. And how can you do anything if you're in marketing? I was like, I just don't like social media like that. He said, so you're not a marketer? No. And that's when y'all started hearing him say how I've shifted over some stuff, because I'm on social media. TikTok is where I go the most. And I lose like 2 to 5 hours every time I do it. I really need to stop. It's very bad. TikTok is wonderful, but you will lose an entire day. Literally. I'll get home, I'll go to TikTok to check out a video, and then it's like dark outside. And I'm like, wait, it was daytime when I pulled up. Be careful. Okay. Social media, it's changed how people view you. We always say, yeah, people go on, when they're hiring you, they go on your social media now and they will hire or not hire you based on what they find on your social media. Your money flows the same way. Especially for an entrepreneur, your money flows the same way through social media, because people are going to want to know, what can you bring to the table? Why do you think there's so many YouTube stars? Because people are watching their content, people are following them, they're creating their own merchandise. So when someone ghosts them about a major deal, any type of like Netflix has gone to several YouTube stars and sign contracts with them, because they know that YouTube star is going to bring to Netflix the people that are not on Netflix, just to follow that YouTube star, because these YouTube stars have millions of followers. They also have massive content. They also have their own merchandise. So the people that are going to them know, if I go to you, I know you're going to sell, because you have people buying your clothes with your name on it. Publishers are looking for the same thing. If you are writing a book You have to now think of it as a business and not just a book. Now, if you're just writing a book just so you can have it in your a book with your name on it in your library, don't worry about none of this. Don't even worry about it. It's okay. I learned something new. Everything I just shared with you is something new that I learned. I was like, oh, when I could connect the dot of publishing is just like the music industry, it all just, I was like, well, God dog. Not the word I said to myself, but I'm keeping a PG. For keeping a PG for TV. All right. Another, so if you don't do any, even if you're like, well, I'm not going to write a book for another 2 to 3 years, this is the perfect time to build up your audience.
Let me jump in there right quick, because if you do get a traditional publishing deal, it's going to be 18 months before your book is published anyway.
Yep. Thank you.
You need to start Phil gets it, right? You need to start 2 years out anyway. All right.
Thank you. Yes. 18 months. When I saw that, I was like, so there is an average time frame. I did not know these things, y'all. Okay. Antonio always tells us you can only connect the dots moving forward, and moving forward solves all problems.
Yeah.
I can't
connect the dots moving backwards.
Oh, you can only connect the dots moving backwards. Sorry.
Solves our problems.
You can only connect the dots going backwards, and moving forward solves all problems. And then KRS, I can't remember if it was KRS-One or ET, the hip hop preacher, but one of them said, your routine will show your holes. I have no routine. Therefore, I don't know where my holes are. I connected the dots moving backwards when I read part 2 of the Mexican News article that Antonio wrote about Showcase Your Writing. But moving forward, I also realized that I ain't know none of this.
That's kind of the point of why I wrote it.
I didn't know it. Like, how can you properly serve the people you are serving when you don't know nothing?
Well, you knew how to publish books. You know what I'm saying? No, that's actually the point of what. No, that's actually what I want you to bring. That's why I got you talking, because you knew plenty. You knew how to be a week ahead of everybody else. What you're discussing is being a month ahead, 6 months ahead of everybody else. There is a significant difference in income between 1 week ahead and years ahead, 6 months ahead. There's a significant disparity in income. Period. Facebook has more resources than most people, so they're probably ahead in metaverse creation than most people, and they will be first to tap into the new $1 trillion industry that is coming. You know what I'm saying? But we've evened that playing field, but we'll just keep that quiet for right now. Well, it's not quiet. I did a whole masterclass on the metaverse and the Mexican News. But anywho, keep going, Deanna. Keep going.
One of the other things that I learned while reading this article, like I have a whole note app called Bibles, and a folder in this note app, it's book publishing.
Just
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, you should. This is the note she took. Yeah, this is the note she took from that Mexican News article.
Okay, so as you see here, Bibles. You see I have affiliate marketing, irresistible offer, product launches, and then I have book publishing, literary agents. And this is all of the notes that I took from that one article.
Come on, man. They come on, man.
This one, that one article, and it's also because of
Wow.
it's
That's
also because of the
incredible.
extra links that he put in there. Like,
Well, you can thank my master's degree for that. You weren't allowed to not interact with sources. If you so there's a F and there's a D minus, D, no, F, D plus, D, D minus, all that stuff. And if you did not interact with sources, then you automatically were somewhere in a C. That's an average paper. You can't be anything but a C plus. If you don't interact with sources, and you have to have at least, and so if you do interact with sources, all right then, to get a C plus, you need at least 5 sources. If you got 25, well, now you're talking. You know what I'm saying? Now you're talking, etc. To give you all an idea, I wrote on the opioid crisis. I'm also going to write on. Please know that I took the opioid crisis first, but you can guarantee that I am going to write about the Crime Bill Act that has us where we are today. You guarantee that. You guarantee that. But I want to show you something real quick. This is why Deanna had all those notes. And this is what I'm talking about, those sources. Here's the opioid. Can you see that? It's not highlighting green for me.
It's showing now, but it's blurry.
Yeah, it's not highlighting. I must need to update the laptop.
Okay, it's clear now.
It's clear. It's coming into focus now.
It doesn't say understand the epidemic?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it ain't showing green for me like it's supposed to. Anywho, point is, all these things here, all these, look, every last one of these are articles.
It blurred.
That's okay. This is what I want to get you to see this. So Grace, here, you do it for me. You do it for me, Grace, because I won't even try to share my screen no more. Yeah, I'll just share that real quick. And I just want you to go to resources. That's what I was trying to show. I want you to go to resources. That's what was important there. But Deanna, you're going to pick up now. You got all your notes. You're going to tell us now. Well, hold on. Let me let Grace show this screen here, because I don't want to. Just remind me to bring up 20 hours.
Gotcha.
You're going all the way down to resources, Grace. That's all. I wasn't trying to show the article. All right, right there. I need y'all to get that I had to read every last one of these articles. Go back up top, Grace. Go back up top. Okay, now start scrolling down. I had to read every last one of these articles to write this post. Everyone. And so I went on ahead and cited it. You see you can see which page I use, because right, you understand what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Okay, thank you, Grace. My point with that is the reason why her notes are so notey is because it's got all that stuff in there. And if you interact with sources, then to the professor, that now, when you got that many sources you're interacting with, Sister Blue, because now they say, okay, this is an A somewhere. I need to figure out, did he open up his thesis? Is he clearly stated? Is he supporting his thesis the whole way through? Okay, so this is an A, B plus at the lowest. I need to figure out which on the scale, which gradation of B plus to A plus is this. And when you have that many sources and that much interaction, and you're proving your thesis and you're interacting with that, and then you're arguing with opposing viewpoints and all the other stuff that, scholars like, it's an A plus. You know what I'm saying? And I made sure I wrote A plus papers, because I took it personally when I got an A. I took that personally. And I was never a good high school student, but I'm a grown man paying. Now that I'm paying for this, you understand, Phil. And I take this personal. I'm paying for this. This is personal. This is personal. So your notes are great. So I want you to conclude or kind of conclude for us what has impacted you the most. That's one. And then back to my 20 hours. It takes about 20 hours of attacking a subject to where you stop feeling like you're dumb. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. That frustration of learning a new thing. It gets real. It's like, I'll be finished with this sometime in 18 months. And once you get past that 20th hour, Sue, just like, you know what? I might be finished this month. It immediately changes because once you get past that 20th hour, skill acquisition, right? We have to develop those skills and it's tough. So I want you to address, Deanna, how many new skills did you develop? You don't have to be an exact answer, whatever kid answer you're going to come up with. And how has it impacted you?
Well, I have added a
just say it in your words. Don't even be smart.
I have added several new skill sets. First off, I didn't even know that you could approach literary agents. I thought they had to approach you. And that's not true. They gave away like 3 different platforms where you can go find literary agents. I put 4 questions in the chat because I didn't know that when people are looking at your book, they're not just looking at, and they're looking to contract your book, like they're looking to buy your book from you. They don't just look at the title. They don't just read a synopsis of your book. They are going to want the first 2 chapters. A good proposal is, I got it here. A good query letter proposal that you send off to an agent is a good, like 57, I think he said, pages long.
No doubt.
So it's not just 1 page. These questions help you get your agent.
Yeah, let me, if this is not for the faint of heart, think about, you ever tried to do a business plan for your business? That's terrible. That is terrible. It is just terrible.
I haven't finished it.
That's what this is, a business plan for your book. This is a business plan for your book. I'm telling you that it is as detailed as a business plan for your business is. It is as detailed. You have to know things you didn't think about. You have to know things you didn't think about, etc. And that's important because a lot of you, especially Sister Booker, all the keynotes you're doing now, that's another book. I mean, every time y'all open up your mouth and speak, you writing another book. Technology is different these days. Let's move like the top 1%. You can sit down for a year and write a book that's going to take me an hour to read, or you can take your keynotes, transcribe them in a few days, and truncate that time. This is about moving like the top 1%. And I just have her telling you because sometimes you need to hear from somebody else so you can understand. But I can assure you, I'm driving home a point. Frida and Grace should be feeling guilty. Monica and Deanna, they should be feeling guilty. You understand? Because you all have to do whatever you love. But You got to do it like the top 1%. You're doing it like you, but how's that working out? That's my favorite phrase. How's that working out for you, Grace? You know what I'm saying? How's that working out for you, Antonio? If it ain't working out, stop doing it. If it works, keep doing it. Okay, go ahead, Deanna.
There's another thing that I learned that I actually forgot to mention to you when I spoke to you last night. Remember in the sales script that you wrote that we have been using since, and in the very beginning of that script, it says research the person you're going to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you are required. It's recommended that you research your literary agent and personalize that query letter to that agent.
It is for sure, because me and Tibbs made this mistake. We got the literary agent fast, but we got a lot of denial letters. You want to get plenty of denial because you don't fit that company or that agent.
Right.
You know, some of you, I was writing self-help, but I was submitting to crime publish, you know, people who focus and specialize in a particular genre and stuff, you know. And I like pushing myself. I like, you know, I went from research to self-help, and then my movies went from documentaries to sci-fi. You know, so I like pushing myself. I need something to tackle. I need something to pioneer. I'm just gonna die in my sleep. And I'm gonna get bored. Get bored in my sleep for sure, but just die. But I need something. I always push myself past what I can do. But without a doubt, and I only because we run out of time here, but without a doubt, she's absolutely right. You want to say, I'm trying to work with you, Suzette James, publishing agent, literary person. You know what I'm saying? And here's why. I believe I fit here for your agency because of this. Now, of course, Deanna was like, oh my God, she read, this really is one of the hardest parts. Really picking your genre. It shouldn't be hard, but it really is difficult.
Okay.
It really is difficult. It shouldn't be. No. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, because like Deanna was, I don't know, you didn't explain. Tell them how you shouldn't write to a genre.
Okay. If you are a writer,
you got to do it quickly though, because I gotta bring up human consultants next.
Gotcha. If you are a writer, you are an artist. It is hard to categorize your art. You never write to a genre because you're going to put yourself in a box. You write and then you go back and you ask yourself the questions I put in the chat. That will help you determine what your genre is. You may think you're self-help, but in the end, you may turn out to be, it may be self-help with a subcategory of literary, or you could be literary with a subcategory of, how did you say, keep walking?
Yeah, mine was, they changed it because I've been through this process already. Mine was an autobiographical self-help. I didn't even know that existed, but that's exactly what Keep Walking was. It's autobiography and a self-help book. It was autobiography. So what genre do you put me in? Is it an autobiography? It was. Is it a self-help? It was. And that was kind of difficult, but of course, going through this process wasn't. And I got beat up a lot. I got beat up a lot. So when Deanna came to me this time, because once she read, now she's on fire. You know how it is. So she's on fire now. You know, she's on fire. And she was like, "Okay, oh my God, what I need you to do is I need you to, now you're gonna have to take some time. And you're gonna pick out your, how did you say it? You're gonna pick out your
genres and
your genres. Yeah, your genres and your subgenres.
Then you're gonna authors that share your same style or topic. I need to know all this because I told myself I'm gonna have some questions for us for you on the ride. So be ready. And that's what he sent me. I was like, oh, thanks so much.
Sent it within seconds because I've been here before. I went through the process in 2014. I passed every check. I passed the whole, everything was good. What was not good is I didn't have a large audience. I took that personally. And then I've never wanted to build, I've never been trying to build an audience, build a large audience ever until they told me, oh, you got a great book. It could certainly be a bestseller. I could see it turning into a movie, but your audience isn't big enough. I took that personally. I'm like Michael Jordan. I took that personally. You understand? Yeah, I wanted to dunk on everybody after that. Here's the deal. So how does this relate or refer or mirror moving like the top 1%? Gently, I say to you. Now, this first part ain't for my older folk, you young folk, because I'm about to say you don't know everything. My older folk ain't got this problem no more. You understand what I'm saying? They laughing at y'all right now. They just being classy about it. They know they don't know everything. They ain't fighting this battle no more. But you, oh Lord, you just keep on trying to know everything. Stop it. You stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. You only, if you think you know everything, I want you to go into your bank account and respect that is what you know. See, you didn't like that. I want you, no. Whatever you care about the most, and typically it's money, I want you to go and look at your bank account, pull up your app right now, do your little facial recognition or your thumbprint, and I want you to know that your credit score is a numerical equation of your integrity of what you know, how honest you should be with your contracts. I want you to know that the $23.43 that you got is what you know. You understand? So you don't know nothing. Moving like the top 1%. I can assure you somewhere out there, there's someone like me who's done a video or wrote an article that if you just watch it, that 2 hours, that 3 hours, that's 7 hours, you will be 7 years ahead. That's why I played that video at the beginning of this, because there was a line in there when a guy said, but you won't delete that app. You won't get rid of TikTok so you can work in silence and come back out and shock everybody. I can't get y'all to do that. I can't get you to stop being social on social media. You can be social after you have trading power. Hear me well. If you don't have trading power, you are a customer. Do you understand? And if you're social with no trading power, you are genuinely a product. And you wonder why your life isn't changing. Products' lives don't change. It's that simple. Products' lives don't change. Now, thank you so much. Would y'all unmute your mic and clap for Deanna, please? I do appreciate you, Deanna. Yes.
And Mr. Antonio.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, please.
I'm going to call Deanna because I just got an email about my book, and it says, since you got a 4.8 rating from our Independent Literary Selection Council, your book has become one of the most highly qualified and highly recommended book titles for the year of 2022. So I was going to get Deanna's opinion on what my response should be.
Yeah,
but I'll do that offline.
Okay, no, that's perfect. No, that is perfect. Yeah. I keep telling y'all the law of attraction is strong with her. Y'all. I keep trying to tell y'all that. Golly, it is strong with her, ain't it? It's strong. Well, here is an update. Well, it's not an update. I want to show you. We're moving like top 1%. But here's YouTube back studio stuff. And then it's all by day. It's all unlisted. You can't see it. However, this is in 50s. So that's 50. And you scroll over again. And then this is another 50. Scroll over again. So that's automatically 100. And then now you're talking about, I don't know, So 50, 105, right? 105. Now let's pay attention to that because go ahead, Phil. I didn't know you were me. Go ahead.
Where do you make the decision between owning a publishing company instead of saying self-published? I own a publishing company, and going through a literary agent, because with the literary agent, you're going to get a less percentage of the price of the book, and it's going to take you 18 months before you have the book.
Yeah.
If you go through owning a publishing company and working with Cozy Corners, you can have that book out in X amount of time and keep, you make the book for $4 to $5 and sell it for $20 to $25 and get to keep that difference. How do you decide what's best, or why do you decide one as opposed to the other?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to have a terrible but realistic answer here. I don't think any of you should get a traditional publishing deal at all. I don't. I think the New York Times bestseller list is trash. And that's a game that they only recognize, certain people, and when you get a publishing deal, you're actually selling your book. And, I am Mr. Why would you sell your collateral? Why would you sell your resource? The only reason, before we get to me, in truth, you should most certainly, all of you should be owning your own publishing, because it's all you got. And then getting your stuff out as fast as possible, creating a community, and immediately selling your book or exchanging it for data. 99% of y'all should be focused on Phil's question. And that answer is forget all this traditional stuff. And bestseller lists don't mean best-selling. Bestseller lists actually mean you've sold a lot of volume in an hour or a week or something. It doesn't actually mean this book has been selling. And there are plenty of books that have sold 50,000, 10,000, 100,000 copies that never hit a best-selling list because they've been slow and steady, or they sold plenty, but these New York Times bestseller lists don't recognize them. The New York Times actually got sued by somebody recently, and they won the lawsuit because they said the New York Times bestseller list, this is how they won, wasn't a list of the bestsellers. It was, I'm going to forget what they said. I've got it written down. It is a editor product. It's an editorial product is how they want it. I was so impressed with that, Phil. I really was. It's an editorial product. I think all of you should draw the line with publishing and trying to get New York Times bestseller and all this stuff. You should just leave it alone. The only reason that I am doing this, and it's with one book series, mind you that there's still other books coming out, not of this, is because I want little Black kids to see it is possible. That's my motivation. You understand what I'm saying? That's my motivation. That's why it's on my dream wall. And I'm doggone sure want my kids to see that. But keep in mind, that's not my book career. This is so important. This is because Phil is right on the money with this. This is one book that it's actually 4 books, and I wrote them all already. And I didn't hold anything, like they don't build, well, they do build, but you know how you can see Harry Potter. Harry Potter could have stopped at book 1, and you just would have just assumed he was the chosen one, right? And then 2, each book has this closed ending. Each book has this closed ending for sure. So I'm not setting things up for later. But I am telling you, I know this is here, I'm selling this. I am giving up control with this, but I've got an entrepreneur book that I'm almost finished writing right now, and all sorts of other books. If writing is your career, or if this book is your baby, or if this book, this is where you draw the line. If you counting on this money, do not go get a traditional deal or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? In my case, I already got 13 books out there. I got another 27 in the chute, and they ain't getting none of that stuff. I owe a publisher a book right now that they're not getting none of that stuff, because that is where I draw the line. This book is just for that. And if you, it's like investing in this case. If you need that money, you might want to go and own your publisher and go to Cozy Corner or Human Corner or something. You know, you need to go Human Consultants Publishing or something to get your book done, for sure. For sure. Go the KDP route or anything like that. Very good question, Phil. And I'm glad he asked. That's somebody from experience. You understand? Because you'll mess up your life waiting for something you couldn't afford to wait for. So don't do that. Don't do that. Of course, that's a terrible answer, but it's facts though. It's practical. It's just not what y'all want to hear.
Well, unless you have such a presence in the marketplace that they'll give Barack Obama a $5 million advance for his book.
Absolutely. And they did. They gave both of them. If you got that kind of presence, that's fine. You know, you do that. And plus, then that notoriety, you can sell that notoriety and you can do things with that. So if you can't do that, don't do it. Anyway, so you see like 105, and that's not all. That's just one folder of what is getting ready to go out with the speaker secret. So Frida, Grace, Gianna, listen up. Here's how it's going to work. I was going to do it like we normally do it, but after talking with Gianna, she had a good idea by accident. She was like, I don't know what I said, but I'm glad I could help. Glad I could help. But I don't even want, it's going to stay unlisted on YouTube. And then, of course, those dates are changed to the titles. And then we're going to write, you know, what it was about. And then we're going to go to Grace and say, Grace, did you take notes on this or whatever, right? You know, so then we're going to jump in Zoom and look. That's why I kept the dates there, because we know what date, you understand, to go back and go search in Zoom to see the chat. And the chat would give us data about what was going on and blah, blah, blah. We're pretty good about chatting. And this is what it's going to look like on Phil and Susan Teach. I didn't even do this for myself, and this is brilliant. I wish I would have did it for myself. This is brilliant. It is actually came from Diana. You know how? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. I'm going to go to Mexit real quick, because Mexit is perfect. A perfect example. Perfect example. So here is Mexit, or it should be loading. Or it's going to, Grace, you load Mexit. I forgot about what's going on over here. Yeah, you load Mexit. She's going to load it.
Okay. Is there a particular one you want me to go to?
Nope, just homepage. Because Mexit is actually a bunch of blogs. The way it's actually set up, it doesn't look that way, because I'm using what you call widgets to kind of organize them. But news is so quick that you kind of want to make them post. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about post blogs, post. Okay, so this is actually one big, where's Renee at? This is actually one big blog, Renee. And this big section is a section that if I put a certain tag in an article, then it goes up here. And it can go up to 8. I just always put 1. Scroll down, Grace. And all of these are that's video blogs. That's why it's in that section. Go down, Grace. And then that's the Mexit podcast. Thank you so much. And all of these are just posts. Okay, stop right there, Grace. So I said to myself, as Diana had a good idea, we should schedule the same way we do 4 times that we said, but it should be on Phil and Susan Teach. It should all come back to PhilAndSusanTeach.com, and it should be a bunch of posts. So all those thousands of videos, their source will be on the home page. That's why there's no home page. All right. See what? Let me help you. Let me wrench around and wrench it out. If you go to Phil and Susan Teach real quick, Grace. Go to PhilAndSusanTeach.com. If you go to it, there's no home page.
Antonio,
Yes, ma'am.
are the videos, YouTube videos that you're putting up, where are they going to land on? ATS?
Only on no, ma'am. That's what I'm saying right now. Only on Phil and Susan. Yeah,
On
only
you
on Phil and Susan.
on
Well,
YouTube?
they got the video has to be hosted somewhere.
Yeah.
The video has to be hosted somewhere.
We've got a humor consultant, and we've got Phil's videos on his page. We didn't do it right. We each have our own that we kind of use.
But the cool thing is, as long as it's linked somewhere, it can be posted. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where. Yeah, as long as it's linked somewhere, it can be posted. That's the cool thing.
We
That's
can
the
share
cool thing. So it does.
To our YouTube
Right.
if we want.
Absolutely. And Grace is going to, and I got instructions for Grace. She's going to add. Grace. What I taught you yesterday to do, they're going to add Phil and Susan and put them as admins.
Okay.
Okay. So y'all have access to this here. But here's what's going to happen. This is going to look like the speaker news station.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it looks like this, because what's going to happen, you can stop it, Grace. What's going to happen is every last one of those videos are going to be, they're going to have a write-up, have a title, have a write-up, and then from Bureau of Dominance, all of it. It doesn't matter. If it was speaking related, it's all going to be there on the homepage, sectionalized, real nice, and then go over to have different categories, different categories where you can go. So the same way Mexit has where you can learn and post and receive things is the same way Phil and Susan Teach, where you can learn, post, and receive things, except for you'll be receiving the lights and speaking and critiques and all sorts of stuff. So every last one of those posts is actually it's more than 1,000 videos. That means you're gonna have 1,000 posts. And here's what's gonna happen. Instead of posting a YouTube link, it's gonna be the link from, pull back up Mexit real quick, because this is a bit complex. It's not complex. It's only complex if people can't see it. It's actually pretty simple, but I don't know. Just pull up Mexit. Actually, no, you ain't got to do that, Grace. It's right there. It's in the chat. If you look in the chat, you see how MexitVerse.com/opioid, blah, blah, blah. That right there, it's in the chat, that opioid. That's what's going to happen. That's what we're going to share, Grace. We're going to share the Phil and Susan Teach / whatever Adonia talked about in her keynote, right? You know what I'm saying? Phil and Susan Teach.com / whatever is the title of the thing. And that, Frida, is what we're going to do. And there's a reason why this is the end of the meeting here. It's because it's going to be so much easier to have traffic go to that website if all the source comes from that website. Instead of spreading it out, it all comes from PhilAndSusanTeach.com, which leads back to PhilAndSusan.com, which means all the Bureau of Influential Speakers and I don't think it's influential speakers, but all that stuff can be seen because it's the only place to go. We're sending it out on social media with the link. So every time you view something Humor Consultants, you have to click the PhilAndSusanTeach.com / whatever it was. So no matter what, they're always coming back to the website. You get what I'm saying? So instead of having them coming back to Facebook, because that's what I'm doing. Like, well, I kind of got you meeting you wherever you are. Same principle, but it's all on Phil and Susan Teach. So Deanna, we don't even have to upload anymore. You don't have to download any more videos after you say what you said, because we can embed As long as a video is hosted anywhere, YouTube, Google Play, doesn't matter. It could be embedded. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's on Facebook, it could be embedded, and it's going down. So it's going to be a video heavy post. Now this is where, and hopefully y'all still in this, because this is where the copy comes in. A nice title, and then this is what you'll learn in this keynote, this thingy here. And now that stops that, it stops that thing me and Susan were talking about on air maybe last week about some of the stuff when we were just fellowshipping and then got to it. See, now you can say, here is a, the write-up can say, here's a class in which the first 13 minutes were fellowshipping, because it's important to bring in a community. And you start writing about that, right? We're going to bring in a community. And if you want to skip this at 13 minutes and 27 seconds, it's where the bang starts. Problem solved. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to think about that when she brought it up last week, because all of it's important. If it wasn't important, I wouldn't still be here. You know what I'm saying? So it's all important in there. So there it is. And it already started. We just uploading. The problem right now is uploading, but we got most of it done. And anything else, some of that's still in the cloud though, right, Deanna? It's still in the cloud. It's our cloud, right?
Yes, sir.
So I don't even have to upload for right now. We'll have to upload no more, but we will. And then we just go from there, right? We just go from there. Grace, you're going to add them today. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll teach them how to make any changes they need. Go ahead, Susan. I saw you on mute. Oh, you got yourself muted.
No, I was going to look in the chat.
Oh, okay. Got you. Okay.
Anything, but that all sounds wonderful. It's
Well, you got two students over there, right? Yeah. It's happening right now. There's no future. This isn't future talk. It's happening right now. We learned how to. I've taught Grace how to enroll students. Did you teach free yet?
I will be teaching her today.
Okay. Let me try this. Repeat the same lesson. Don't leave your battle buddies behind.
Yes, sir.
This has to be in the culture. It has to be. Because now this should take, if with a bit more than normal levels of action, it should take nothing to bring in 100 new students who want to further their career. Nothing. This is not difficult. This is just a matter. And that could be $24.99 or the full package, or $24.99. They get involved for a little bit and then say, I would like to upgrade too. You understand what I'm saying? Just, I don't know how to express it, so let me just express it so we can all get out of here. The best way is move like the top 1%. Grace, if we sat down, I called temperature, we did all that, and I taught you, or we taught you, and you didn't teach freedom, you ain't moving like the top 1%.
Yes, sir.
I told Grace said something yesterday. This is exactly what I told Grace. Grace, what did I tell you yesterday about? Well, let me see if you're just gonna get it. What did I tell you yesterday? You said, "Ooh, Ken is on my heart." What did I tell you?
You said to.
It's in your best words. If you don't know, you don't know.
Make your money work, not all of your time and energy.
Okay, thank you. I said, listen, stop helping everybody. If I told Grace, I said, your idea of helping everybody is going over and working for them. That is extremely middle class. You say, Ken, how much money do I need to give you for you to keep flipping my money? Let my money work for me. You understand what I'm saying? No, my money here. My money here. Work it, money. And it's true, because soon as I taught you, Grace, you were supposed to say, well, I'm not going to do all this by myself. Frida, come here. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's moving like the top 1%. Do not. In the Army, you get in trouble for not delegating. That's what it's called. It's called delegation. You get in trouble for not delegating. You get in trouble for not delegating. Because if I wanted you to do everything by yourself, I wouldn't have no team. But I would just have you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Remember that. I'm not getting on you, but just remember that, y'all. Remember that. Because this is happening now. You don't need no homepage. You don't need you got enough up and enough resources. And don't act like I'm not sneaking myself in there and looking at HubSpot, Freedom. You got enough, okay, to where you can go now. $24.99 or $5, whatever it is. I have no idea. I keep forgetting the price. It's too many prices. But it's $3.97, something like that, whatever it is, okay? Frida, you getting paid Friday. Congratulations. You understand? I think it's congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations. But what you're going to do from there is be merry, be happy, and keep going. You got me? That's what we do. That's what we do. Ain't no other way to do it. Run, move, go fast. This is not just about speed. It is also about efficiency. Okay? Phil, tell us what we do tonight.
Your subconscious mind and harmonious human relations. Let me give you the chapter, the little headline
we've been talking about right now. Yeah.
The daily headlines made him sick. I hate women, but I like men. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
His inner speech held back his promotion. This is one of the biggest chapters in the book.
Oh, wow.
Becoming emotionally mature, the meaning of love in harmonious human relations. He hated audiences, handling difficult people, misery loves company, the practice of empathy in human relations, and appeasement never wins.
That last one. All right.
And then at our keynotes, everybody, please, if you can put aside time to be there, please be there. If not, put it in your calendar. Listen to the replay, because it's Evelyn Booker giving us her 25 minutes for crucial conversations, tools for talking when stakes are high. This is an amazing material that major companies spent tens of thousands of dollars to teach their people the information that's in this book. And we're going to get to hear the Cliff Notes tonight from Evelyn Booker. And I'm really looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad you said that, because you reminded me. Remember Deanna showed y'all that long Bible worth of notes she got? I told her yesterday, now every last section is a podcast episode. Congratulations. You just produced content without even knowing you was producing content. Same thing for Sister Booker, right? It's the same concept, same thing. You do the hard work, it can be multiplied, because since you are God, and since you are speaking words, and if your motives are correct, I can't help myself, but the word of God will never come back void. Do you understand? You put it out there, somebody will get changed. Congratulations, Deanna. Congratulations, Booker. I will be on tonight for sure, unless these needles is too long. And then pray for me. I don't know. We're going to find out. I'll let you know tomorrow, Susan. I'll let you know. Okay, I'll let you know. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can't play better. You can't dominate. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Love you.
Love you more.
Love you more.
Love you more.
Love you more.
Yeah, I don't know how low they got to be to go in the hips, but